No, to be honest, I don't think that Terrence Crawford is in control of his career. I'm not saying that he's not. I guess it's a bad choice of words. I don't believe that Terrence Crawford picks who he's going to fight. I believe that it's up to his manager, Cameron Duncan, and Bob Arum. But to go from, no disrespect to Hank Lundy, but to go from potentially getting a Pacquiao fight to fighting Hank Lundy, I'm thinking to myself, well, what does that do for his career? Now, Hank Lundy has been an improved fighter over his last several fights, even though he had that ugly loss to Mauricio Herrera in a fight that could have really went any way. It's just, I'm thinking, well, he's, like Terrence Crawford is much more skilled than Hank Lundy. And I'm thinking, well, what happened to maybe a Victor Postol? What happened to a Mauricio Herrera or a Ruslan Provodnikov or, a Jose Benavidez? Now, one of my video reporters and a friend of mine, Jason Gonzalez, had an interview with Bob Arum just about a month ago at the Jose Benavidez fight. He talked to Benavidez and Bob Arum. The interviews are here. And Bob Arum had said that Terrence Crawford would be returning in February in Madison Square Garden. Now, when I saw that interview and I heard that news, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, they already have that venue already booked up. So that let me know right there that Pacquiao was going to be fighting Bradley, but I didn't do the video at the time. But the point I'm trying to make is this. Benavidez wanted to fight Terrence Crawford. Now, what I want to know is, I want to know who turned down what, or why we are not seeing Benavidez versus Terrence Crawford, or a Terrence Crawford versus a Victor Postol. That's what I'm wondering, So I'm thinking, how do you go from a big drop from Pacquiao to Hank Lundy? Even though it's going to be a good fight on paper, still, I'm thinking, what does this do for Terrence Crawford's career? Now, Hank Lundy has been known to be a fighter whose power may show up late in fights. So he does have a chance to win. I'm not saying he is going to win. He does have a chance to win because Terrence Crawford's defense, especially when he switches to southpaw, he really, takes some shots that he shouldn't be taking. But I'm looking at it like this. Terrence Crawford's 2016 has to be a big 2016 because I'm thinking Bob Arum is saying that Mauricio Herrera and Provodnikov turned him down, that they turned him down because they're fighting each other, or what's the deal, with that? And if not, what is Terrence Crawford's career looking like, after this fight with Hank Lundy? Will he move up to 147? Because you have a perfectly makeable fight right there, a unification fight with Victor Postol. It just, the whole, this fight just doesn't make sense. It's February the 27th in Madison Square Garden. I said I'm going to be going to a fight every month. I'm thinking I'm going to be going to that one. I'm not quite sure yet. But as we get closer to the fight, of course, I'll let you guys know. Terrence Crawford versus Hank Lundy is official. February the 27th, Madison Square Garden. And I'm just like, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. Hank Lundy's only been stopped once, and he's a better fighter than he used to be. But like I said, I'm just like, well, what's this? What's the point? What's the point? T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.